Hey, what's up guys, this is aAakAra here and I am going to be casting a 1 versus 1 between mTwRINE and his opponent is going to be aAakAra, or just Kara. This is going to be a Protoss versus Protoss and the map's going to be Xel'Naga Caverns. And our two players are both from Europe, playing on the European server, and both are on European teams. Kara is on the team aAA or AAA, or Against All Authority as it really is, and his opponent mTwRINE, I suppose it's Reen because it's not Rhine, I think it's from Reen as in marine, so I'm going to call him Reen for this game. Anyways, mTw, a strong European team as well, featuring players as Naruto and Daimaga, so it's going to be a strong player. Reen currently at 31st place on the European server with 854 wins and 645 losses. His opponent, the green Protoss in the bottom left side of the map, is going to be Kara, who is 26th on the European server, just 5 places ahead of Reen. So this is going to be a real equal match, I think. They're two equal players. And Kara from Team AAA, as I've said before, that is also a real good European team, featuring players such as Nercho and Sarens and more players. Kara is currently at 556 wins and 415 losses, and he was actually on Team mTw before, but he switched to AAA, so I don't know what that's all about, but these two guys used to be teammates, so maybe they are pretty familiar with each other's builds. So we're going to have a PvP, so if they haven't met each other before or not, they're still going to know exactly how to play the race since they're both Protoss players. So it's going to be a great match here, I think. PvPs are always interesting. You can see at the production tab, we can see exact the same builds, just that our yellow player Reen is slightly ahead with his probes and his zealots, and they're equal with the cybernetics core, but we can see that he's also getting his second assimilator before Kara, who's actually opting to get out his third pylon before the assimilator. So possibly going to go some tech build here, Reen, with some gas heavy build. As you can see, he's chrono boosting his warp-gate technology, so maybe going to put on some stock pressure here, or just get out a bunch of sentries, 3-gate into an expansion, which is the very common build for Protoss to do these days, and it's really safe if you want to expand. You can see he's got his 3 gateways up, and he's actually going for a 4-gate, so I'm going to say 4-gate, probably going to push out of this, because that's what you do when you 4-gate. So probably looking to be aggressive in the early game. We can see ProBear scouting for prox pylons, didn't find anything. But Kara is going to move out and secure both towers, so he knows what's up. He's going to know when his opponent is going to push out. Kara himself is getting out 2 gateways and just getting out some stalkers. Now putting up his 3rd gateway. He also has his 2nd assimilator, which Protoss need that gas pretty early if you compare to a Terran or a Zerg, because both sentries and stalkers are pretty gas heavy if you compare to the other races in the early game, so I usually do that. Now he has his warp-gate technology finished, and I believe Reen has that as well. Yes, he has. So probably going to be aggressive here, going to move out with his forces, possibly going to set up a proxy pylon around here or something, and then going to put up some early pressure. But that's just predictions, because he went a 4-gate. He could expand on this as well, but it would be more economical to expand off a 3-gate. We can see both players are getting their Twilight Council, so maybe we're going to see some epic Blink Stalker micro from both sides. That could be cool, I think. That can also be used the Twilight Council to get Templars later on, and also to get the Sellout charge. But both players are not going to push yet, going to play pretty defensively, just poke out now and then, macro up their armies, and I'm surprised that no one is getting Colossi. Both are getting Blink, so usually you'll see one player go like 4-gate build with Blink, as Reen is doing, but you will most likely see the other player go for Colossus Tech or something. Not both players do the same, but yeah, this is interesting. We can see Kara has a lot of units actually off this 3 gates, so Reen will have a hard time if he decides to push, but he's wisely going to set up a proxy pylon here, so probably going to commit to this, but Kara is actually moving out, so seeing a probe there could mean that it is a proxy pylon somewhere, but he cancelled it before he even scouted it, but he saw the amount of forces and he didn't want to commit to that, so warping in 2 more cells on the low ground to possibly, if he would be pushed right now, and we can see that his Colossus Tech is coming up in the... But it not necessarily Colossus Tech, but he's getting a robotics facility in his base right now. Meanwhile, these stocks are going to duke it out. Both players have Blink, Micro, so we're going to Blink away and Micro, and but Kara has a sentry to reduce all the incoming damage, so Reen will have to book it out of there, but nice Blink from Kara on top of Reen's stalkers and going to reinforce with 1 more unit. Keep in mind that Kara doesn't have a proxy pylon, so he will have a hard time to reinforce this, and Reen much closer, and he also has 4 gateways to reinforce from, so he's probably going to handle this just fine. You can see he pushes Kara away, but Kara did some nice damage there with his forces actually, keeping Reen on his toes. But remember, he didn't scout this robotics facility, so let's see what Reen decides to do with this now. Really curious too. We can see that Kara is wisely going to set up an expansion off of this. And meanwhile going to put on some pressure, as all pro players do. They put on some pressure and they expand off of it, but he's only on 3 gate still. So that could mean a lot of trouble in if Reen get out more units than him, and he hasn't got his expansion up and running, but Reen is actually going to grab his own expansion, so they're playing really equal to each other. The only difference is that Reen has got his robotics facility much earlier than his opponent, but Kara is instead going to get up his forge, which will allow for upgrades on his ground units, which is going to favor him big time. If all his units can do 1 more damage per shot, that will hugely favor Kara. We can see that Kara's expansion is about done now, and Reen's expansion is only halfway done, so if you get that expansion up and running, that will definitely favor him, but Reen is not far behind actually, and he has more units, and he's also going to put up a forge. Meanwhile, we can see that Reen is going to move it out, put on some pressure, because he's scattered in with this observer, but he saw that it was probably too many units, but I think they have pretty equal size of armies. Let's take a look at the units tab. Now we can see he's actually at a disadvantage, Reen, but the observer is going to get some high ground here. Give vision on the high ground, possibly going to blink up here into Kara's base, snipe some buildings, and then blink out again. That is that could definitely work. Now we can see some probe transfer here, and also his forge finishing, so both players will have great economy to fall back on if either one decides to push. But for just now, they're going to stand still and wait and see what their opponent's doing. We can see that even though Reen has a probe advantage, he is at such an army disadvantage, so he has to wait and get his expansion saturated even more, and then he will have a nice advantage, and even going to put out Colossus Tech in the open here. Easy to scout, but observers will basically only scout in the main, but this is so easily to scout and even easy to snipe for Kara, so I'm curious to why he placed it there, but I'm sure he has something in the back of his mind worked out. Now you can see Reen's observer is scouting exactly what Kara's doing. He can see that he has moved all his stalkers up here to put on some pressure. He can see that it is warping in a proxy pylon, so he knows that an attack is coming, and even wisely getting a Immortal in here. Immortals can take so much damage, but stalkers still do plus 4 damage versus armor, but the Immortal is going to blast away at these stalkers if he can get in to shoot, but Kara has so many stalkers. I don't think it's going to be enough for Reen actually. You can see this Immortal is getting picked off so fast, and I think that he tech towards Colossus too fast, and his blink micro won't help him because Kara has blink as well. Another Immortal is reinforcing this. If this Immortal can get off a lot of shots, he could have turned Titus battle, but no, he gets picked off immediately, and Kara is most likely going to end this game, and Reen is just leaving without GGing, because I think it was a good game from Kara, putting on a lot of pressure, didn't tech towards Colossus or Immortals or anything, just stick with his strat. Meanwhile, Reen tried to get a 4-gate and Colossus too early, which ended up costing him the game because he didn't have enough money to get enough units to defend. So good game there, and this is from a best of 3, so we're going to move on to game number 2. Stay tuned for that.